y'all. So it occurred to me, I've been lacking on breakfast content. So I personally am not a huge breakfast fan. I mean, I have it every day, but I don't make it like a spectacle. I also feel like people just way overcomplicate it to make it as extravagant as maybe dinner should be. And I just don't think that's the case. So what we're gonna do is make like a breakfast scramble, but amp it up a bit, but also kind of meal prep along the way too. So let's get right into it. So before we get started, in case y'all were wondering if beer is acceptable for breakfast, yes, if it's the weekend, it's okay. So before we get started with the meat, we are using Adobo Peppers. So Chipotle Adobo Peppers, I love using these just to amp up really any kind of protein or any dish of any sort. So with these, I just simply threw them in a food processor, blender, you know, whatever you have, just to make it into kind of a paste. And then what I love to do with the extras is just put it in a Ziploc bag and I throw it in the freezer, just kind of level it out so it's flat. And then whenever you go to use it, just break off a chunk and it just melts super quick right into whatever dish you're cooking. I use it for pastas, hamburger meat, which is like what we're doing here. So also that being said, I am using, what is this, 93.7 lean meat. You can use whatever ground meat you have on hand. I've also used Bison. I've used like a lean ground turkey. Now with this, I just cook it in a skillet. It is lean, but there was still some grease in the bottom of the pan there. So I just went ahead and drained that out. Now then once you put it back in the pan, I typically do about 2 to 3 tablespoons of the Adobo Peppers, of that puree that we made. It really depends on your spice level. I think even 3 tablespoons isn't super spicy. It's just like a nice Chipotle flavor. So once you do that, set that aside, and then we are just cruising from here. So we've got 2 eggs. If you want more protein, you could do an egg and then some egg whites. I do that a lot. But with the eggs, then just sprinkle in, I would say, an 1/8 teaspoon of garlic powder. Just kind of season it as you would season your eggs with salt or something. You really don't need to measure. It just kind of amplifies the eggs a little bit more there. And then we've got some avocado and cilantro. I don't really know that there's a wrong way to cut up an avocado. This is just how I do it, and knock on wood, I have not cut myself yet. Hopefully today is not the day. But just do that and then take whatever knife and just kind of like stab the little seed there and twist it out. That's what I do. That's just what I've learned from my mom. And then grab it either with paper towel or washcloth. So we've got our avocado. I'm gonna do just 1/4 of an avocado. We have fat from the eggs, so I don't need a whole lot of extra fat from the avocado. You guys can totally skip this part. The avocado and cilantro is just for topping's sake, because you guys know I think cilantro and jalapenos make the world go round, but no jalapenos today. To be honest, I just don't want to cut them up. But the cilantro works really well with the adobo peppers. It just gives us some Mexican flair. And would you look at that? It's pretty much magically done. So I am just then going to scoop out the avocado. That was way easy. Normally doesn't happen that smoothly. And then just top it with a little cilantro. Or a lot of cilantro. It's up to you guys. And that is all there is to it. Now, I did say we're kind of meal prepping along the way, and what I meant by that is we obviously have a shit ton of ground meat left over. So what I do is just put it in a container like this and throw it in the fridge for the week. Now, I will make another breakfast scramble maybe tomorrow. Sometimes I'll make a taco salad and just put this on there. I personally am not a huge fan of meal prepping. It's kind of like picking out your clothes for the week. I just don't know what I'm going to be in the mood for. But I do like to prep protein. I like always have grilled chicken on hand and some kind of ground meat, whether it's, like I said, ground turkey, ground chicken, ground meat. It's just super convenient that way. And even too, I'll make just a ton in bulk. And I will individually portion out the meat in little Ziploc bags and throw it in the freezer. So if you just need it in an instance, for instance, making a breakfast scramble, you can throw it in the skillet as it's still frozen. It'll thaw and just cook beautifully into it because the meat's already cooked. So Super convenient, but also helps on food waste there. And you don't have to worry about eating any of the processed shit. So always a win. And I might actually show you guys the adobo peppers real quick. So this is the extra blended adobo peppers I said I had. Just thin them out almost into a sheet like this and lay it in the freezer. This lasts for months. I make a spicy chicken chipotle pasta and this is so good in there. I just break off a chunk and throw it in there and it just melts right in. I've even made cheeseburgers before, just mashing this up into the meat. That's super good too. So I feel like these are so underrated. There's so much you can do with this. So definitely encourage you guys to use that, do what you will there. And the last thing, because I put these Thai chili flakes on seriously everything. You guys know I love spice, like love spice, but I just don't love sauces. And this Thai chili powder, so good. I just get it at H-E-B in the spice aisle. So if you guys can find this, snag it, look it up on Amazon. It's that good. Definitely recommend it. I don't even use cayenne pepper anymore because it's just not spicy enough. So that's where it's at. But I hope that was helpful, convenient. You guys have now breakfast and kind of meals prepped throughout the week. So I hope you guys enjoy this one, but I will see you guys next week.